So this is the view from our little patio. Mom's sitting up in bed seeing this until I got in the way. And here we are in our backyard this morning. Yes, and the sun is behind a cloud. But here's Penny. Yeah, she's already been out on the little beach down there. It's very rocky. And then we've got a ship in the background that looks like a cruise ship.
They look so big, don't they, those ships?
Yeah, and then another one. And then what was this island called, Pen?
Bar Island.
Bar Island? Yeah. Just a few hundred feet from where we're at. And then there's a little boat down there that we're going to go on later for a cruise, a nature cruise. Hopefully we'll see some oceanic wildlife. Right, and we're at the edge of the property here. And that looks like it's the line between the next property. Sky is a little cloudy today. We're hoping for the sun to peek out from behind the clouds. And then there are other buildings here. There's the big trees, and then this is our home right here at the Atlantic Ocean side, and we're on the first floor, and we can look out and see all this beautiful stuff. Let's come out from behind the cloud. Can't figure out what that thing is. So we're now going up into the park, and this is the first viewing point we've come to. We can look down on the island so we can see from our room. There's that big boat that was just outside our room. Well, we've headed up to the top of the mountain, but as you can see, we're up in the clouds. It's rolling in a little bit further up, and it's just completely covered in fog. So we've turned around to come back down and maybe go to the beach. But it's a very dramatic scene.
Eider ducks a little bit later on. They're very striking. They're black and white, lots and lots of white along the way. And that Bigger trailers and ATVs across the ice, put a house on the ice and drill a hole through the ice right in the middle, and still it supports all that weight. That means those ducks are incapable of that. So instead, what we do with these guys is we actually tender passengers backwards and forwards. That ship's using their own lifeboats to tender people backwards and forwards, and that's something we see very, very often, particularly from a lot of our foreign cruise companies in this area. But it confuses folks with stuff and as we go by some of our islands, you may get a chance along the way to see sea today. That's a very good question. That is also a good question. What is the value of a day's catch for lobster around here of all things until into the 1930s? So at this stage, the state, when I issue you a commercial lobster license as you get one, it can't be a commercial operation. This is why I Maine. This section goes from Jonesport to Island. It's a very large section. You start doing that, you lose homes. These guys have whole wars against one another to figure out which families can put which buoys where. So it's a very complicated but not written down system that goes with it. Maine. It is the only one where the keeper's house is built around the light tower itself. Now, if you continue to go further suddenly brown, that's our inner tidal zone. That's several billion barnacles stuck to the rock right there. Turns out barnacles dominate the upper 4 to 8 feet of our inner tidal zone, depending on how heavy the wave action is in an area, because of course they glue themselves to the rocks once in their lives. After we've been sitting there for a while, just like, oh yeah, here's one. Watching porpoise, watching whales, as always, be impatient enough to wait for these guys to pop back up. The mountain would be? Captain Gary just took you through the only inlet and exit on that side between Great Head and Old Soaker Ledge. It turns out, the way that Old Soaker Ledge is positioned, the current that comes up the southern side of the island has to bend out around it to continue going around the island. That means little spin-offs of those currents actually slow down as they come in here. They don't have very, very nice look at those guys. Taking a look off to the right. Any of you driven around the Park Loop Road, you can start to see cars and bicycles and people going by. This is the section of the Park Loop Road that goes from Sand Beach to Thunder Hole. So if you were driving around that before, you've been looking out this way. Now you got the opposite view, kind of looking back in to the island along the way. Also in the background over top of the Park Loop Road, this cute little mountain popping up over here is Gorham Mountain. At that point in time. Now when you take a look at it, if it makes you feel better, notice how many chimneys are coming up off that thing. It has about 12 fireplaces at National Park. That's the other reason folks come out here all the time. Oh no. I've got the treat of the day. I hear somebody was asking me about it earlier. These bigger ships parents and great-grandparents did on a boat, not by a highway like you or I would. Just a couple of minutes, we're going to be pulling back into the same dock that we came from. As we do that, once you guys feel the boat start to slow down, just to keep the insurance.
Tell us about this wonderful embroidery.
This is an embroidery I started some time ago, and then decided to do it for Mom's occasion of almost reaching 50 years anniversary after Dad passed away. So we did the memory book, but then I thought I wanted to do a family heirloom embroidery as well. So we've done this one, and it's Families Are Forever. And then we've got John and Evelyn, who have created together the family of Penny, Mike, and John. So it's our little family of 5 represented in this.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah. We like particularly the colors and the little lacy pattern. We chose, so this has been everywhere. It's been to Jekyll, it's been to the Florida Keys, it's been in Dayton, and then on this trip it's been in Massachusetts, so it's been in Concord, Westboro, Concord, Marblehead. Now we're in Bar Harbor, Maine, and it'll be in Algonquin, and then it will fly home to Dayton.
Yes, and then it
where
will be
stay.
framed and put on the wall.
Yeah, and I
Look at
spent
that.
time doing it in England when Mom was over visiting as well. So we had some nice evenings. I sat in the garden. So it's full of lots of love and lots of memories and lovely places that we've all been together and had a nice family energy around those places, as well as being very beautiful places.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all in here.
It's all there, yes, and I love it. I love it. Love the colors too.
They're really pretty, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they really are.
Actually, they're probably New England colors. They're the sort of colonial colors, aren't they?
Right, yeah.
The deeper colors.
So give us a smile now. Okay.
It's very fitting, actually, that we finished it on this trip, which was the two of us
The
having a
mother-daughter
special time
trip.
together.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, one last shot of you in it. Okay, great.
So we're all packed up and about to load up the car, so we're saying farewell to our little room in Bar Harbor. It's a misty day. We watched the boat go out this morning. You can barely see in fact you can't now, you can't even see the islands. It's so misty out there, so I'm not sure what point there is in going out on the boat, but I hope they're having a good time. So we're saying goodbye to our little patio area. It's been very nice. And our nice, comfortable, big room.